To share the new custom admin app example that I'm working on, and it's a card interface. And the card interface has nice separation between the different intentions. And what I mean by intentions are different connections that we have to the Firebase database. This card right here clearly conveys that we are wanting to keep track of the vibration level. And this card is clearly conveying that we want to keep track of the buzzer value, the buzz value on the actual Firebase. And then this card right here is indicating that we want to keep track of the color value for an RGB LED, color state value that's on the database. So let's just look on the database for a second, and we can see over here, well, one of the cards is going to be checking the buzz value, one's going to be checking the color state value, and the other one's going to be checking the vibration value. So I like the way that these cards basically, in a spatial sense, organize what your intention is. And they also down here convey that you want to have control or be able to at least activate something from the user interface in the admin app. So over here, this buzz buzzer button would buzz the buzzer, and the toggle color for the LED would toggle the color of the LED. Let's look at the actual code that's involved in this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of comment to the code while we're going over this. So if we look over here, and let's go to the client module plugin first. In the client module plugin, and let me just close this out. In the client module plugin, we actually end up creating these cards, creating a new card right here. Let the buzzer card equal a new window card. And down here, let the vibration sensor card equal a new window card. Let the RGB LED card be a new window card. So those are our three cards, and we're creating them right there in the client module plugin. That way you don't even have to go in to the HTML at all. You only have to deal with the client module plugin and the server module plugin. So what I have done to enable that is I've created this card class in JavaScript. And the card class does the creation of the card for you. The interface for it is you pass the card an image source. In other words, what is the URL for your image? And then what is the heading you want on the card? And then if you want to add a button, then you can add a button as well. If you're going to whenever you're going to update a value, you set the readout for the card. And that's basically the way it works. And then the cards also have a little bit of styling over here. But you and the campers only have to interface with literally the client module plugin and the server module plugin. So let's look at the making of the cards again. So over here, when we make a card, we create a new window card, and we pass in, the first thing that's passed in over here, this is the URL, that's the address to the picture that's on the buzzer card. So if we go over and look over here, that's a URL to this picture. And then right here, the second thing that we pass in to this new window card function is the title, if you will, piezo buzzer. And if we look at the card over here, the heading on it is piezo buzzer. Okay? And then we also added a button. We created the buzzer card, then we added a button. And we over here, when we added the button, we passed in a label for the button. And then we passed in a function to be run whenever the button is clicked. Whenever the button is clicked, we're going to call up the socket and say buzz the buzzer. And also, we're going to listen for whenever the server calls down to us and says there's been a buzz update. If there's been a buzz update, we're going to set the readout to whatever the buzz update data was. So that's the full process with the buzzer card. If we look back, for example, one of the things that was mentioned here is we added the button and the buzzer right here. This is giving us the label on the button, buzzer. And then again, this right here is what is going to happen whenever you click on the buzzer. Basically, we're going to call up the socket. We're going to announce to the server, we want you to buzz the buzzer whenever we click on it. And whenever we get an update from the server saying that there is a new buzz value, then we want to go ahead and set the buzzer card's readout to whatever that data is. Let's look at the vibration sensor card example. Vibration sensor card, we're making a new window card. Again, the first thing passed in is the image, the URL to the image that's being used. So that's a URL to this image right here. And then we pass in the heading, vibration sensor. So if we look over here, here's the heading. And then we listen over here for whenever the server says we have a vibration update, and then we set the readout on the card to whatever that data gives us. And that's why we have down over here vibration level 0. And then lastly, we have this RGB LED card, which is a new window card again. And the first thing that gets passed in is the picture. And that's right here. It's the whole thing, including this black area. And then the second thing passed in is the heading. And the heading is right here. And lastly, or I should say, then we add a button. We're adding a button on the card. It's an option to add a button. You can actually add more than one button. I'm not going to go over that now, but we're adding a button. And the label on the button's toggle color. And then whenever the button is clicked, we're going to announce up the socket to the server and say toggle the color state. And we're going to listen for whenever the server tells us that there is a color update. And we're going to change the readout accordingly. Okay, so this project right here will be released. I will open the code up for it and just probably by tomorrow. I have a couple other things I'm going to work out with it, but I like it. If you look at it, it's also responsive. If you looked at it on a mobile device, it would snap down like this, and you could just scroll up and, you could scroll up and easily access each of the cards. And yeah, we want something that's going to be easy to create, yet appealing and very functional. Okay, and if we stretch it out again, and then it takes on the new layout look. Okay, thank you.